Kristen, and today we're going to be doing a FMS screening, so a functional movement screening assessment with my subject here. The first thing we're going to assess is the deep squat. So I'm going to instruct her to get her feet about shoulder width apart. With the dowel, we want it at 90 degrees right above the head, and then to straighten those arms out in front. And then we're just going to try and do a deep squat, keeping that torso pointed forward. So go ahead and squat as deep as you can. Good. And up. That was the first attempt. There was a little bit of compensation with the arms and the torso going forward. So I'm then going to ask her to modify it by putting her heels on that board. And go ahead and try the same thing whenever you're ready. Good. That was good alignment with the knees in the front, also keeping that torso upright. So I'm going to give her a score of 2 for that movement. Okay. The next one we're going to be assessing is the hurdle step. With our subject, we do have our string lined up across her tibial tuberosity. We're then going to ask her to put the dowel right behind her neck. Good. And for this one, standing on one leg, she's just going to, with the other leg, try and balance, tap the heel on the other side of the string, and come back while maintaining a stable, upright position. So whenever you're ready, you can start on either leg. That was good, Juan. That was good. Everything seemed to be in a line. The dowel remained parallel with the string, so I would give her a 3 for that. And then we're going to have her do it with the other leg. I'm going to have her do it one more time, just a little bit slower, because I did notice a little bit of movement in that knee. Good. And then we're just going to do it one more time with a lateral view, just to make sure everything remains correct. So one more time. Good. Other leg. And the other leg, yep. Good. And that's how you do the step. Thanks. All right, next we're going to do the inline lunge. I'm going to have her step on the edge of the board with one of her feet. I have already pre-measured the length of the lunge from her toe to the tibial tuberosity. So I'm then going to have her with the other leg take that large step. Good. And then with the dowel, it's going to need to be held with both hands and be in contact with the back of the head, the thoracic and the lumbar spine. So make sure it's in contact with the head. Perfect. And then looking from this side view, we're going to have her do the lunge, making sure that dowel stays in contact the whole time and that everything remains in alignment. So I'm then going to have her lunge. Good. That front heel did stay in contact with the board. The back heel came off and came back. That was good. The dowel did come off the lumbar spine just a little bit, but we're then going to view it from the front to make sure everything's in alignment up front. Good, and everything stayed in alignment, and that dowel did stay on that lumbar spine that time. So I'm going to give her a score of 3 for this. You can take a break, and we will then have you switch legs. Perfect. Heads in contact. Good. And whenever you're ready, you can take that lunge, looking at the alignment from the front. Good. And then we will we'll do one more looking from the side, making sure that dowel stayed in contact the whole time. Go ahead and do it one more time when you're ready. Good. And that was good. The dowel stayed in contact the whole time. Her torso was nice and upright, no bending, and everything stayed in alignment. So another score of 3. Thanks. All right, we're going to test for shoulder mobility now. For this, I'm going to first measure the individual's hand, which I've already done. I have 7 inches as her hand measurement. I'm then going to instruct her to make a fist with the thumb inside the hand for both. And then go ahead and turn around. And then for this, we're going to do the right arm up and behind the head and left arm back. There you go, perfect. I'm just measuring the distance between, making sure it's less than 7. That looks perfect, so that's a 3 right there. We're then gonna have her do the same thing with the opposite arm. Good, a little bit more distance, but that's still less than 7. So that's another score of 3. I'm then going to have her do the clearing test so she can turn around and put that hand on the shoulder and try and lift the elbow. Good, any pain with that? Nope, perfect. And with the other hand, no pain with that? Perfect, there you go. Okay, the next one we're going to do is the active straight leg raise test. So I have our patient lying in the supine position. And with this, I have the dowel in a midpoint between her ASIS and the mid-patella. And I'm going to ask her, keeping both feet pointed towards the ceiling and in a neutral position, raising the leg, keeping the knee as straight as she can, raising it as far as you can. So go ahead and try that with your right leg. Good.
Oh, sorry.
And back down. Good. I'm going to have her try that one more time to see if she can get past the new modified position. Good. And I'm going to give her a score of 2 for the right leg because the dowel, when I lined it up with her malleolus, was between her mid-thigh and the knee. So I'm going to reset again at that midpoint and have her do it with the left leg. Good. And relax. Good. Keeping that knee nice and straight. Why don't you try it one more time? And relax. And again, I'm going to give her a score of a 2 because it was between the knee and that mid-thigh. Thanks. All right, next we have the trunk stability push-up. And I have her in the prone position with her ankles dorsiflex. I'm then going to have her place her hands at shoulder width apart with her thumbs even with her chin, and I'm just going to make sure she has that right position. That looks good. And then from there, she's going to try and attempt a push-up, keeping it all in one unit. So whenever you're ready. Good. And back down.
Back down?
That was good. It all came up in one unit. I didn't have to modify anything, so that's a score of a 3. We're then going to do a clearing test. So with your hands out in front, just extending that upper body. Any pain with that? Perfect, and that's it. All right, the last test we're gonna do is the rotary stability test. So I'm gonna have the client get in a good quadruped position, making sure that hips and shoulders are both at 90 degrees. That looks pretty good. And for this test, what we're going to attempt to do is lift the same arm and the same leg at the same time 6 inches above the ground for one attempt. So why don't you try that with the left side of your body? Yeah, it's hard. Okay, all right. And so because that was unable to be done, we're going to modify the test and have you do it with opposite arm, opposite leg. So I'm going to have you do your left arm and your right leg, lifting those at the same time across the body, 6 inches above the ground. Good. And then have your knee and elbow touch. Perfect. And then back to that starting position. That looked really good. There's no loss of balance or instability there. So I'm going to give it a score of a 2. We're then going to try it with the right side. So why don't you go ahead and try in that right arm and right leg. Yeah, okay.
No.
Fair enough. So then we're going to modify it again with the right arm and the left leg. Both going out at the same time. Good. Good control. Elbow to knee. Good. They touch. And back to that starting position. That looked good. So I'm going to give it a score of a 2. The last test is the clearing test. So I'm going to have her rock back so her butt touches her heels. And bring those arms forward, flexing the back. Good. Any pain with that?
No.
Perfect. And that's it. Thanks.